Hey, my friend. We've got some shifts in energy this week in our sky. We complete our time in Sagittarius energy, our new moon in Sidereal Sagittarius, as well as some other changes that we're going to talk about today. Hello, my friend. Happy new day. Happy 2024. This is our first Sidereal Astrology forecast for 2024. I'm excited to be here. If you are new, hey, my friend, hello. I am Danny C. Muniz, spiritual healer, intuitive astrologer, helping you heal your past, present, and future so that you can embody your true soul essence, my friend. This week is a good one. We've got a lot going on in our sky that I want to dive into, especially with our new moon in Sagittarius. So if you are new here, we do talk about sidereal astrology, which is slightly different than tropical astrology. So our sun is just about to complete its journey through Sagittarius. It will move into Capricorn come Sunday. So we've got this new energy coming in where it's all about, we're ending the season, right, of visioning, of really being that CEO of our life, of our business, and having that bigger vision and bigger perspective, and moving into the energy of what is the plan? What is it? What are the foundations that we want to take? As a matter of fact, in the Enlightened Soul Circles, our community over on Facebook, we are talking about creating foundations or doing a healing next week all around the energy behind where you may be stumbling around creating foundations. So if you're looking to join the group, come join us. I'd love to have you. We have a lot going on inside that group on a regular basis. You can find the information down below. And if you're catching this on the brand new podcast, shout out to the podcast listeners for the Cosmic Mystic podcast that is launching this week on our new moon. I'm excited for that. So you can, if you're listening to this on the podcast, you can find that down in the show notes as well. You can also hear this on the YouTube channel and see this on the YouTube channel because I can't not have the visual aspect for those of you that want the visual aspect for the charts that we're going to look at today. So let's dive in. Let's get started with this week's Sidereal Astrology forecast. And you will see in just a second, if you're watching this on the channel, again, come on over. If you're on the podcast and you want to see these charts, this is on the YouTube channel at Danny C. Muniz or Keeping It Real with Sidereal. You can find it over there. Okay, so here we go. Here is our chart. And you will see that as of Monday, the 8th, and this is the forecast for the January 8th through January 14th, our sun is still hanging out, is still hanging out in the energy of Sagittarius. As I said, we're at 23 degrees Sagittarius right here. And there are some connections if we pull this back to see that our sun is actually wrapping up. So some of those energies that we have seen over the past several weeks or few weeks, the past month, we've seen that connection over there to Chiron, which really has been bringing up a lot of wounds and a lot of uncertainties and a lot of emotional type baggage has been coming forward. Have you felt it, my friend? That has really been coming forward over this past month. We've also got that square to the North Node right here, which is also both of those are wrapping up. And so this really has been this idea of the future, of what I'm wanting to step into, and having that uncertainty and having all of those old wounds come forward, or those belief systems that may be outdated, but are still right attached to this old idea. And so we want to step into the future. We want to do the new thing that our soul is pulling us towards, is guiding us into. And yet here we are, stuck with like, well, I can't really do this because of X, Y, and Z, right? All the excuses in the world can probably may have been coming forward over the past month as Mercury was in Scorpio in the deep trenches, right? Mercury did move out of Scorpio. It did go direct at the beginning of this year along with Jupiter. So things are ready to move forward, but we still kind of have some things that are unresolved that are really asking to be resolved right now. So if there's been anything that has come up over the past month for you, I'm going to tell you, my friend, especially during the retrograde period, what were the things that came up for you. We're ready to resolve those. Let's resolve those now. I actually posted a reel on my Instagram. So if you aren't following me over there on Instagram, it's my favorite place to hang out on the daily. And I posted like, it's so much more energy to not do the work than to actually do the work. And trust me, I know from firsthand experience, the avoidance of not doing the work because I don't have time, because it doesn't fit into my schedule, because it's going to bring up shit I don't want to, my bad, stuff I don't want to talk about or deal with, right? So this has been coming up. If you've been feeling that, let me know. It's been coming up, I know for sure, for many of my clients as well as myself. Indeed. Okay, so I do want to talk about this that is taking place this week, because you're going to see these guys are going to fall off this week, but we do have this new one coming in with the sextile here to Neptune. So I do want to talk about this sextile to Neptune because there is more of a heightened sensitivity, especially with our intuition, our imagination, our creativity that is really coming forward. Psychic awareness as well is really increased during this time. So two things on this, right, is pay attention, because there are messages that are ready to be delivered to you that are wanting to come through you as the channel. And there's also this idea of us being very sensitive to it. And so we might be picking up on things that are indeed ours. So we'll see this start to come in here on the 10th, on Wednesday. And this is going to be here through the 21st of January. So we've got a couple of weeks here, about 11 days, almost 2 weeks, where this energy is very heightened for us. And so for those of us that are empaths, that are very sensitive, intuitives, right, we're picking up on a lot of this information. And so I want you, as an intuitive, as somebody who is empathic and sensitive, I want you to be mindful of your own energy, because you may be picking up on other people's stuff that is nothing to do with you, that is still, right, because you can see we still have these squares with Chiron and the North Node that are affecting us. So we want to make sure that we are being aware of our own energy. And so making sure that you're clearing your energy, that you're really allowing yourself to know what is yours and what is not yours. One of the questions I always ask is that when I'm starting to feel something, I'll like tune in, like, okay, is this mine or is this not mine? Right? I'll ask my guides for support. I'll ask in the Akashic Records, what do I need to know about this? Why is this being brought forward, right? If there's any anxiety being brought forward, why is this being brought forward? What is it that I need to know? What am I not seeing? What am I not allowing myself to look at? So some good questions for you to ask. The other thing is pay attention to your dreams right now. You probably are having really vivid dreams, and really being able to really fully encompass your dreams and what's happening. I just had a really really intense dream last night. As a matter of fact, it was clear as day, and I was like, I actually literally felt I was in there. When I woke up, I was like, I'm what? Like, where am I? I literally felt like I was in the wrong place when I woke up this morning, because my dream was so vivid and it was so clear. that I really felt that that was the life that I was living, which is very, very crazy. So pay attention to those dreams as well. If you don't keep a dream journal, I'm going to highly recommend you do, so you can start to see some themes that may be wanting to come forward, or some patterns that are being repeated within those dreams as well, because they're all connected in some way. All right, so let's look at some other interactions that we have going on this week. First off, Mercury did move into Sagittarius. We can see that he moved into, I always want to call them like he or she for some reason, but Mercury did move into Sagittarius on the 8th of January. And so beginning of this week moves into Sagittarius. And it's interesting here because Mercury and Sagittarius, like we're leaving, right, the consciousness energy of Sagittarius, but Mercury is more in our communication and how we're really seeing things. Like I like to look at it from like the lens, the glasses that we're wearing when we're like seeing things through this lens of Sagittarius. So we kind of do still have that energy still coming in over this next month, because Mercury will be transiting through Sagittarius until the end of this month, and it will move into Capricorn the beginning of February. So this is a really good time for us to have really clear thinking, good judgment, really getting our organization, kind of getting things organized, catching up on things. You know, Mercury and Sagittarius is like big picture type thinking. And so the details kind of don't matter to us right here. We really don't care about the details. It's like, I just give me the big picture. Give me the big thing. I don't care about the little things. Just tell me overall, what is this going to be? Like, I might even look at this forecast and you're like, just tell me the broad strokes, like what's broadly going on. I don't really care about all the little details of what planet's doing this or what planet's doing that. Just give me the idea of what the energy is, right? That's kind of the Sagittarius thinking. It's like, I just need to know the big picture. We're also approaching things from the energy of adventure and exploring and trial. And so I actually did a call where I was talking about the energy of Mercury for the Sagittarius energy. And I kind of related it into business as the trial and error period, right? Because somebody was asking me, why do we have the action energy before the planning energy, right? Moving from Sagittarius to Capricorn. And it was like, because in Sagittarius, it's the trial and error. It's the let's see if this works. Let's try this out. Let's explore what this might look like, so that when we do get into Capricorn, we can start really creating that nice plan. I'll also piggyback here and say, right now, there's a lot of energy around your goals for 2024. What is it that you're going to accomplish, right? And we've been in this area of really visioning, and Sagittarius being so optimist, right? The optimist, it's like really like, oh, the possibilities. And yet it's not quite time for us to really set the solid structure. We can have some ideas, but it's really not the time for us to do that. When we move into Capricorn, it's going to be more of that energy. And so we'll see that begin with our sun. And then as Mercury moves into Capricorn in February, we'll see that even more, where we're really getting a lot clearer. When we start to follow the cycles and the rhythms of Mother Earth, of nature, right? We can see the beauty of how we can work really nicely, where we're not hitting our head up against a wall. We're not forcing something upon us, but we're actually working with the energy. As a matter of fact, we're in winter, my friend. This is winter. This is the hibernation. This is the introspection, right? This is the clearing out. This isn't, and when I say clearing, I don't mean like clearing. That's more of like, right, spring, but the clearing of ideas, of thoughts, of what worked and what didn't work in this past year. So we're really not in this time of like go and get your goals, right? Go and get that plan together and start moving. I will say I am doing a retreat this week where we are kind of reflecting on 2023 and a deep dive reflection on 2023, which I think is so important. And then we're moving into getting back into an alignment with what we desire. And then from this place, creating our goals. It's not from the place of like, okay, what do I want? But really coming back to who we are and really allowing our heart, our true desires to come forward so that we can actually create what it is that we desire in this new year. So, well, 2024, new calendar year, let's just say. All right, let's keep going. So, Mercury in Sagittarius is really a beautiful time to just try things out, to test things, to learn multiple things. It's right. We're not in the deep dive focused on one thing anymore. There's like a lot of things we kind of want to put our hands into. All right, we do see this one aspect I do want to point out that is coming in at the end of this week. We'll see this connection here with Jupiter. So we have this, Mercury is going to be what's called a trine to Jupiter. And so, this is amplifying that energy of Sagittarius because Jupiter is the actual ruler of Sagittarius. And so we're going to amplify this energy. It's a trine, so it is a really cooperative and supportive energy. So this is a really good time to expand your horizons, like setting up like a travel, like where do I want to go? What do I want to do? Maybe not actually making the plans, but like allowing yourself to like think about where it is that you want to go this year. I know we're thinking about that for our year. This is also about, there's a lot of social energy here, a lot of like possibility, good luck, happiness, optimism, good time to research, study, really good time for all of that right now. So this will be going, this will be till about the 23rd. So we'll see this from the 14th to the 23rd. So this energy that we're coming into in this, into this week, into next week, really is a really good time to just, have some fun, expand your horizons, lots of possibility energy, which is what I absolutely love as a optimist myself. Okay, let's take a look at Venus, because we do have Venus coming in here. Venus has been, let me go back to Sunday. Venus is making this aspect here with Chiron. And it started on Sunday and it's going to go till Monday of this week. So this week, this is a really interesting aspect because a trine is a nice, cohesive, really beautiful energy. They're both in the same element, right? They're both on the water element. We've got Chiron in Pisces and we've got Venus in Scorpio. And so the energies are really, really nice, flowy, right? Especially with that water energies. And so we can use with Chiron any past insecurities, any past wounds, especially as they're relating to self-worth and our intrinsic value. Those are being brought forward for us to like reframe, for us to heal, for us to release and transform and empower any of those feelings of inadequacy, any of those feelings of I'm not good enough, right? And allowing more compassion, allowing more grace and gratitude for the journey. I was talking to a client yesterday and we were talking about her current employer, right? She's starting her own business and her current employer, it's not the best environment. And she's actually looking to move out of that environment in the next couple of months as she continues to grow her business. And so, we were looking at like our energy is so tied up in and so frustrated about this job that it's stealing so much of our energy. So much of our energy that I maybe don't have time to go and work on my business in the evenings. And so there could be things that you might be stuck on, that maybe we can reassess and have some grace and have some compassion and have some gratitude for that job. Right? I was telling her that my last probably about 9 months being in the corporate world, the year before that was tumultuous. It was horrible. I hated every single day that I had to get up and go to this job. I loved the work I did. I just loved the environment that I was in. And I was really going through beginnings of it was probably after my first initial awakening, and it was like starting to heal a lot of the things, and so there's a lot coming at me. And I remember having to reframe my job and seeing all of the beauty that it allowed me, because it allowed me an opportunity to take some classes for free because the company was paying for them. And so I was able to take these classes on, designing courses and leadership and communication. And I was just like taking it all in, right? And I had this opportunity to learn, right? At the time before I left corporate, I was working on building out a onboarding and like a leadership training program for the entire company. And before that, right, it had been siloed into different departments. And here I was bringing it all together and bridging it all together. And I was able to talk to all these departments and all these heads of these departments and figure out what they were doing and take all these classes. I learned so much about working with people and working with people at a higher level than I was, in order to get this information and learning about different learning styles. And I was able to learn so much during that time. And I'm so grateful because that has helped me tremendously during my time in these past 7 years as a coach and as a healer. I've been able to use and bring in a lot of that information for my clients and in my own business, right? So like, we're in something right now, and it may not be the thing you love and it may not be the thing you like, but there is so much gratitude for the thing right now, because there's things that you are learning that it is giving you the opportunity, right? I was so grateful those past 9 months. I worked, I think it was like 4 miles, right, from my home. So I was so close. I didn't have to like drive 90 minutes like I used to each way. I was so close. I'm so grateful for that. I could be home pretty early. I didn't have to, right, leave super early in the morning. So, there's another reason to be grateful. So there were so many things. I think sometimes if we stop, right, and this opportunity here with this particular aspect is giving us that opportunity to be like, let's have some grace for these experiences that we've had or that we're currently in, understanding that they're there for a reason. Okay, let's go on to let's see what else is in our sky this week. All right, here we go. Okay, so if we take that back and we're going to look at Mars for a second. So Mars here, we have Mars just moved into Sagittarius. He actually moved into Sagittarius at the end of the year on the 28th. And when we look at the Sagittarius energy, it is very much about adventure. It is very much like Mars is our willpower, it's our motivation, it's our drive. And so right now it's seeking adventure, it's seeking higher knowledge, it's seeking to create those travel plans, which is why I'm telling you right now, my friend, it's like, allow yourself to like step into that. Like, ooh, where do I want to go this year? What is possible, right? Where are all the places I can explore this year? I saw this reel that it was like, oh my goodness, like it's so simple, but yet was like mind blowing to me. Maybe not mind blowing, but it was like an aha for me. It was like, I want to travel more this year, but more in, locally, not so much far away, although that's on my agenda as well. But looking at that, and she was like, take like wherever you live and look out 2 hours from where you are, 2 to 3 hours, depending on how far you want to go. And then create like a radius, right, of that area, and then go in and look at all the different areas, the different towns, the cities that you can go to. Look up campsites, look up hikes, look up restaurants, look up, right, activities or events that are happening in these places, and then start planning that out. And I was like, duh, like, why don't we do that? And this Mars and Sagittarius energy is perfect for that. It's also perfect for us to start taking action towards our purpose, towards our mission, towards our goal. And if you stick around here, you'll know that I don't believe that we have one purpose in life. I think we have many purposes in life. Like our soul has an evolution that it wants to obtain, which is probably our primary focus, but there's different ways that I'm fulfilling what my soul is desiring through my lifetime. And so, and as a younger person, I had a different purpose than I have now. When I was in corporate world, I had a different purpose than I have now. I have a different purpose than I had even 3-4 years ago. My purpose has shifted and changed, right? My overall mission and goal hasn't, but my purpose has definitely changed. It's like it's been my guiding principle. And if I look at what my guiding principle is right now, it is different than what it has been in maybe years past. And so that could be changing. And so it's a really good opportunity for us to take some action towards that, even if it is just a small, simple, little first step, but for us to take the action into it. Okay, let's look at the other one that I want to talk about, which is Mars and this trine here to Jupiter as well. So this began at the beginning of the year, and this is going to go to the 21st of this year. So we have a couple weeks here where there's this increased desire to compete, to win, to make things happen. There's a lot of good fortune around this because we do have that Jupiter energy, especially in Aries. So it's like taking risk, it's like moving forward, it's doing the thing. And because it is a really great aspect, there's a lot of good fortune around here, a lot of good intention, a lot of success energy around here. So things that you're starting here right now are really you're going to see the fruits of that labor come later on in the year. But this is a really good time to take some decisive action and acting more on instinct than anything. Okay. Really good judgment here in all areas of our life, as well as growth opportunities as well. Because we do also have that sextile here over here, which we've had for a while with Saturn. It is also really giving us that sound kind of judgment here. All right, let's talk about the last thing that I want to talk about is our moon. So where's our moon and where is she headed this week? So she does start off here in Scorpio. So we do have that energy for the beginning of the week in Scorpio here, which is that water energy, which is that creative energy, intuitive energy. Really good time to kind of take it easy, just chill out, just kind of relax. And then moving into Tuesday, we will be moving into Sagittarius as we prepare for our new moon taking place on Thursday in Sagittarius. So you can see she's getting closer here. She's got that conjunction here with Mercury, which means our head and our heart are in alignment here on Tuesday. And then as we get into Wednesday, you'll see she's making that conjunction to Mars. Really nice energy here, really emotionally driven energy here on Wednesday. And then we'll see on Thursday, we have our conjunction here with the sun, which is our new moon in Sagittarius, which will be taking place pretty early in our day. We do have this energy just getting really close here to Pluto, but not quite included in our new moon energy. So I do want to let's talk about really quick our new moon energy, which it is going to be at 26 degrees. I don't have it up here for us right now, but I can switch that so we can see where we're going to be. We're at 26 here. And let's move that back so we get that in alignment. There we go. All right, we can see right here, and this is at 5:56 a.m. on the 11th, so early in the morning. We've got this at 26 degrees, with 26 degrees in astrology really is about flexibility of mind and body. So I'm going to right off the bat say, like, being flexible in how we are going to do things and how we're approaching things, whether that's our goals or whatnot. Being flexible in how we're approaching things is going to be key. So we do still have this sextile over here to Neptune, which we talked about with the sun, with that energy of being that heightened sensitivity and intuition. We've also got this square over here to Chiron still. So this is allowing us to really refine, right? And shift and reframe those wounds that we have. And then we've got this trine over here to Uranus, which is really positive change and reducing like restrictions and just giving us this really open opportunity and freedom. Great time to break habits, leave outdated belief systems, relationships, like really giving us an opportunity for positive change in our life. So I'm really excited about this new moon because I really feel like it's allowing us to be flexible about the changes that we're making and not so hard. It won't be so rigid, right? So anything that you're wanting to start fresh or start new or step into, like really having that mentality of being flexible. So as you're setting your intention, think about how you can include that flexibility and not be so rigid about what it has to be, but allowing that fluidity to run through it. All right, my friend, that is our sidereal astrology forecast for the week of January 8th through the 14th. I would love to hear what your takeaway is from this week's forecast. Let me know down in the comments if you're on YouTube, or send me a DM over on Instagram. My friend, have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. Be sure to follow and subscribe, and we'll see you next week. In the meantime, go ahead and close your eyes and take a deep breath with me. And find peace.